All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are starting our startup showcase. And our first presenter is the fabulous Ryan Dom.
I'll answer to both.
All right. That is a hard last name sometimes. Schwartz and then Dam. Anyway, Ryan from Anya.
Ina.
Man,
As
I am
hard as
batting.
possible
All right,
for the first
listen,
one.
there's just another 10 companies. How bad can it get? All right, Ryan, we are starting the clock.
Fantastic. Get this clock going. First, I want to make myself deeply unpopular. How many investors are in the audience right now? Amazing. Okay. All right. This is like a practice pitch then. All right. My name's Ryan. I'm a founder of Ina. We make digital holograms. And what I mean by that is 3D images that you can move around in, you can manipulate for use in making content, all sorts of content. Okay. Very, very broad technology with lots of applications. But to frame up what we're doing to investors, the theoretical investors, there are really two kinds of AI companies. There are AI companies that build on top of APIs and build on top of other people's foundation models and solve business problems. And that is fantastic. That's a great opportunity. And then there are companies that build foundational AI. Mostly that's already happened. Those are kind of a very large opportunity, a little bit riskier, a little bit more capital intensive. There are also two kinds of AI. There are verbal AI, spatial AI, LLMs, right? So built on text, built on video, built on scraping the internet. And then there's this next wave of AI that's starting to come out now called spatial intelligence. These are world models that understand the world in 3D. What we're doing at Ina, if you strip away the layers of business, is we are building a foundation spatial model. And the way we do that is by solving our customers' problems for creating 3D content, make video holograms, have awesome visual effects, make immersive experiences. Then we use the data that we're allowed to train on to create spatial AI. That's the large pitch. That's the investor pitch for why Ina is interesting. Okay. Here's what someone could do with one of our digital holograms. This is an example of something captured spatially by having all this 3D data, make an amazing music video. That is the business application for what we're doing. The numbers behind it are pretty telling. We're just barely post, starting revenue. We have a bunch of bids out to do visual effects work, to do kind of interactive experiences and activations for big brands. We're on track for millions of dollars in revenue this year. And this is really sort of the pilot stage for what our partners are going to look like. We are a software company. Our partners are the ones who go out and produce content. So we're on track now. We figure we'll have 100 possible studios within a couple of years. At that point, we'll have a ton of data. We'll have spatial intelligence. We'll help self-driving cars and robots, and the world will be wonderful. The arc of this technology, by the way, is to start out very obscure. We use 75 cameras today. As we get more training data, the cameras required will drop over time. It's down to 25 and then 5, and eventually this will become a consumer technology. That's a large arc of what we're doing. My co-founder Chaitanya spoke last hour if you were here. My name's Ryan. I'm our strategy officer, and that is Ina. We're closing our pre-seed soon. We're starting a seed round later this year, and we're, I think, the best of the breed when it comes to physical AI, spatial models, and video holograms. All right. Landed that thing with a couple minutes to spare. I think there's time for questions.
Yeah. Any questions? Yeah. Phil, can you talk into our mic over there?
Okay, so I'm a little unclear on what it is that you're actually doing. There are a number of companies out there that are doing spatial capture of objects that you put inside a volume of some sort. When you say you're an AI company, are you taking those assets and essentially, in the case of your demo, creating an AI rendering of a band playing? Is that what you're doing?
So this band is a real band that was captured with real cameras. Okay. So let me make a little the distinction between the AI component and the spatial video component a little more clear. Spatial video right now today, while we use AI inflected techniques, it is completely literal. Those people actually were on our stage in Santa Monica and were actually filmed. Nothing was hallucinated. However, when you build up enough spatial data like that, we can build an AI that understands the world in 3D. It's seen enough objects from different angles over time that spatial AI then can be useful for understanding the world. And that's how we go from requiring 75 cameras down to 5. And that's how we also eventually power self-driving cars and robots. This is a hard 5-minute pitch for the record. But thanks, Phil. It's a good clarifying question.
Because I've got to follow up.
Awesome.
All right. So it sounds like what you're doing is a very small piece of a world building operation where you're creating just in a small volume, if you will, an AI generated experience. Is that the core of it?
Compatible with that. I mean, you'll see some of these world model companies, their early products like World Labs and others is a text to 3D environment model, right? We're very compatible with that, but we're much more focused on capturing a real, authentic experience. This is a technology for filmmakers today, for someone who wants to have cameras on set and wants to create real content. Down the road, it will be more flexible, but today you got to start with cameras.
All right, we actually have another minute for another question if anybody has one. Anyone, anything for Ryan? All right, well, thank you, Phil, for that. And let's have a big hand for Ryan. And we're also going to start a special drinking game here at the Startup Theater. When anyone says AI, you do a shot. So I've provided tequila under your chairs and a little shot glass. And ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here when you're done. All right, we are now bringing up Brad Chisholm from iPop. So let's have a big hand for Brad as he sets up. Give him a little encouragement. It takes a lot to come up here and do your thing, so we so appreciate that. How long has everybody been here? How many days have you been at the show? 3? 3 days? How long have you been at NMB? 1? 3? Okay, all 3 days for everybody? That's great. And have you been drinking the entire time? I'm just wondering, because you look a little tired, that's all. All right. All right, but you still look good, because you're young, so your face has flex still. You still have that collagen that some of us are trying to buy from other people. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Chisholm from iPop AI.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Today, I'm going to talk to you about iPop. We are, first got to get the transition. Here we go. So we are a computer vision solution. We're a computer vision platform that allows AI video analytics. All right. And we are best in class. And I'm not just making that up. We have the award for best new product in the AI video analytics category. That was not a startup competition. I know this is a startup stage, but that was a competition where Honeywell took away one of the awards for the other categories. So we are best in class and we are built for developers. Now you might be wondering, what would I use an AI video analytics platform for? Well, specifically in this space, content operations and compliance. So if you think about the amount of time people spend with their media with content operations and compliance, now you can do it all with AI with no human in the loop. So these are just some select examples. You can go from a long form format to a short form format automatically. You can find those moments in a video that you are looking for, the key moments in sports when somebody scores a goal, right? Or emotions when people are excited and they're cheering. You can find those moments and compile them automatically into a highlight reel. Brand alignment and content moderation. You don't have to, we all know what content moderation is, right? So you don't have to look at that bad stuff anymore, but brand alignment gets much more interesting because not only are you looking at logos and making sure they're current and other things, you can make sure that your message is aligned. So imagine you have a video, it's about how to make the juiciest hamburger in the world, and then your ad content is all about the evils of meat and dieting. That would not be brand aligned. Not the best example, but it paints a picture of what we can do. We've all heard of auto tagging of images. We can do the same thing in video. And not just what's in that video, but when it occurs in that video. And video analysis. So you can now search your video the same way you would search the internet, right? You type in what you're looking for. Our system can find it with your digital assets, right? So, and you can summarize the video. So there's a lot of things that can be done. And what this means is the human laborious component that's happening today no longer has to be the case. So iPop, we built this product on 6 pillars. Number 1, we are model agnostic, right? So that means we can rotate in and out any foundational model that we want, which means our customers always have the best product. They're always on the cutting edge of what's possible. We respect data privacy. We never use customer data for training, and we do not store customer data. We are computationally efficient, right? So this means that we can offer a live experience and we are cost effective. We offer both cloud and on-prem. So many solutions, cloud is fine. That's great. We can run there. But a lot of solutions, either because of the quantity of the data or data privacy, need to be on-prem. And we offer that capability. Composability, in a 5-minute presentation, I don't really have enough time to go into detail what that is. But what I will tell you is how you maximize the quality and efficiency of what you're getting out of your computer vision solution. So this rides on top of your foundational model and unlocks a lot of value. But at the end of the day, what really matters is that this technology has to work for you and your use case. So if you've looked around at AI solutions, you'll see that quite often there'll be a chart that shows how their solution works better than others according to some benchmark standard. right? I could do the same thing here, but that doesn't really answer the question of whether or not it solves your problem on your data. And that's why with our product, what we do a free evaluation for every customer. So you know, before you make your buying decision, whether or not our solution solves your problem. And over 90% of the time, it absolutely does. Our team, we have a deep bench of, I don't see my slide there anymore. There we go. So our team has a lot of experience commercializing high value technology, right? What we do, we have a ex-Yahoo, former Google, co-founder of GoFundMe. What we specialize in is taking high tech and making it high value for our customers. All right, with that, happy to answer any questions you might have.
Yes, Phil. We have a new face up here for a question, and then you, Phil, please.
Yeah, Brad, I was just curious. Great presentation, by the way. You said you can do on-prem and cloud. I'm curious if you see any drop off in model capabilities when you go on-prem.
Great question. So that is it depends situation because there's a hardware requirement, but typically no. Even when we're on the cloud, we run our entire models all on a single H100 GPU. So as long as you have that capacity, there's no degradation in performance. We also have customers that are all the way down to consumer grade GPU. Now they have constrained what they could do, but that is fine for their particular use case.
Great. Phil?
Right. So great presentation. Who is your primary target market for this? Is it social media influencers, a vertical industry of some sort? Who are you going for?
Yeah, great question. And so, yeah, because I did kind of gloss over that, right? So the users of our product are developers. So this will either be the developer that's in-house for a company that's large enough they build out a lot of their own capabilities, or it is the company that's building the product that others would then use. So editing solutions and that nature, right? But we find our product is actually for straightforward use cases, people can use us directly. You don't need to have an integration with a larger system. So those three markets.
Fantastic. Let's have a big hand for Brad here. Great job, Brad. Brad will be signing autographs later. Just kidding. All right. Let's now bring up Rotomaker AI. Rotomaker. Madhava, are you here? All right, here he comes. All the way from the back of the stage, flying in just for you guys, Madhava. Right here. You want to talk a little bit about Rotomaker while he's saying?
Actually, hello everyone and welcome to Startup Showcase. So I'm an independent executive producer for visual effects and animation. I'm Marianne O'Reilly. And the reason I'm here is actually to introduce two of the parties from Rotomaker that are making incredible strides this last year that they'll talk about. So we have Sarah McGrail here, who's the executive producer and has worked with some very large companies through the States, and Madhav, also known as Mike Reddy, who is the CEO and founder of Rotomaker, which is really an umbrella of multiple companies. So why don't I hand this over to Sarah and, great. Yeah. I'll just hand it over to Sarah and just remember we're behind here. So if you don't get to see our reels and stuff, come on by later. Thank you. Here you go, Sarah.
Thanks, Marianne. I'm Sarah McGrail, and I've worked with Mike now for many years and have seen the team that's developed, offering a lot of solutions across roto, paint, compositing, tracking. And I think the question that you face now is what are the new tools going to be in 5 years and 10 years that vendors, studios, creators are all going to want to be able to access? So the team at Rotomaker AI is really devoted to creating what's next in those tools and having the artist team that's also available to work across multiple needs and across studio services. So I'll hand it over to Mike so we can describe some of the different lines of business and the different services we can offer, but also having deep expertise over the years in these things. I think we're well positioned to be able to offer those to people, understanding what time and budget are for production on major films, major television shows, commercials, and now offering those with the latest tools.
I really thank for attending the presentation. So we are a Rotomaker facility based out of India, one of the oldest, almost 20 years VFX studio, supporting more than 1,000 clients in 65 countries. We worked on big shows, including Visitas. You're seeing Las Vegas. We have done a lot of rotoscopy for that. and map tracking, and Earth show also in Vegas. We have done very good movies and do very high end clients. And the recently we launched AI solutions in the visual effects area to support the VFX studios. We have launched the rotoscoping, wire removal, paints, and all things you can do with the machine learning. It's not AI, but machine learning, which helps to cut down the cost up to 50 to 70% on your outsourcing services needs. So it's a great thing, and we are the first people who launched this, and nobody has this kind of tools or softwares in the industry. And we can also do splines for rotoscopy that nobody has, and this is completely offline, and we are getting a great response from many studios, and a lot of studios worldwide who have been offering. They're very happy because we are able to give them at very affordable price. And now we also launched AI content creation. We can do AI movies, previous movies, any short films, long format film, TV series, 10-second episode at a very cost effective price. You just send us the script and we will make you complete movie, and we can do any back and forth revisions, corrections, and give you the final output. And we have been also develop a deaf sign language. For all your content, we can explain you deaf sign language at the bottom of the screen like subtitles. And these are the new technologies we have done. We are very happy at the event NAB. We got a great response from the VFX studios and also many visitors and companies. And thank you so much for this time. Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful multi-tiered presentation. Do we have any questions for this wonderful team? Yes, Phil, please go up to the mic. Obviously, I paid Phil ahead of time to come up with questions for each startup. All right, Phil.
Coffee. Yeah. So who is the market for this? Because you said you can mail in a script and you will make the movie, but a lot of script writers I know like to do their own storyboards. So
yeah,
who would you be marketing this to?
This is like we are doing a storyboard in AI, and before shooting a movie, you can get a storyboard. It shows your cost of the film, how much 1 minute, 1 hour, 10 minutes movie you can do the storyboard. Our clients will be you're a filmmaker, a director, you want to make a movie, but you're looking for budget, something, then you come to us. Whatever your thought ideas we make in a previous storyboard movie in AI. And then you can take that movie and go to the distributors and investors and studios that this is the movie I can make, and which, that will help to, get your budgets, because telling a story, explaining a story to many people is very tough. But if you make a complete movie, that would be very nice for them to understand. And we make as real as possible. You can come. Our stall is here. I will show you some of the movies. It's a great opportunity. We have done more than 150 storyboard for movies, and 7 of them got the investment for the movies. Yeah. Thank you.
Great question. Any other questions for these fabulous folks? Okay, it sounds to me like a great place to start your career, your filmmaking career. Let's hear it for Rotomaker.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, next up we have Tony from Zonic. Let's hear it now. Let's have a hand for Tony from Zonic.
So I'm Tony from Zonic, where I'm CEO of the AI video editors. So basically, what we want to say is like we make some of the footage management and manipulation. Currently the AI is a modern way for doing the communication, and what we are actually doing is we are doing some of the video root cuts instead of like replacing the video editor. We do some of the root cuts to helping to empower the video editors. So the editing is actually 2 phases. Like one is how to select the correct footage, and then how to place it into correct place. The place means like the timeline. So to do these 2 things, we have cultivated some of the skills, like from the existing commercial projects of it. And what we are is actually we can manipulate the different kind of the footages, not only for the real footages, but we can also manipulate the AIGC footages. And we don't want to replace the human editors. What we want is some of the cloud code for the human editors, which we are actually operating layers between human editor and footages. So to do so, we can show a live demo here. The first thing you need to do is to have a comprehensive understanding. You can see we have understanding on the visual content, on the translations, on also the text. and also some of the faces detections. So with this on hands, like you upload your footages, and then we can do just only one thing. It's like make a vlog about the NAP show. So you can see this one is pretty short. It's nothing about the pro engineering and so on, because we already have the skills that's from the professional video editors from by the Uncle Films. So they are the production houses in Taiwan and produce some of the commercial ready videos. So what they give us is some of the this kind of the project file, and through this project file we can learn like the input and output for the video editing. We can learn from the logic of the human editor to pick the certain footages, and we can learn how to assemble those footages together to have a narrative links. So yeah, you can see the result. We follow some of the templates in the making some of the event recording vlogs. So we can directly output it into a Premiere Pro's project file. So you can see if this is a NAP show, the first one, you can see the logos. And then the second, you need to enter this kind of the hall, exhibition hall, and then see people going in and out. And then finally, we have a scan of the booths. And then we can focus on our booths and then showing, yeah, we're somehow popular by surrounded by the people and do some of the discussion with them. So, yeah, this is how we do the first phases of the training in the from the AI from the commercial video editors. The second phases is like reinforcement learning. We can help us to talk with them. So once we generate this kind of the roofcasts, the human editors still need to do the quality insurance or doing some of the fine editing. So through this kind of fine editing, we can track those kind of the changes in the fine editing, such as tuning like this, or select some of the other footages. And the AI will reveal like how's going on the further editing. So for the next time, the AI will become smarter, and because it gets like what user really wants, and then you can align well with the user's preference. So actually provides 3 modes. And one is the cloud mode. I don't need to talk about this. For the local mode, you need to just directly download it from our desktop app, and then we can have the script to combine with the web app, and then we can do everything we want by exposure your local file and communicate with the cloud AI AI models. So actually, what we do here is like to select the suitable footages. We have the editor's know-how on the footage selections, and plus our agentic video understanding. So our understanding is not for general purpose, it's for on the perspective of the video editors. And the second is like we have the editor's know-how on some of the logical storytelling. The core of our technology is about the agentic skill training from the large data provided by our clients. And yeah, with this kind of the workflow be embedded, we can further push it to the industry. And in the industry, we can make some of the automation, such as something like this. You can see we not only have the real footages, we also have the AI footages. So from this one, our client can make the format and can do some of the e-commerce, and then help using us to do the video manipulation, and then generate some of the edited video with high commercial videos. So the footages do not have the commercial videos. It's the edited video that has the commercial videos. And we are doing this kind of things with our clients, providing them to empower the footages to promote what they want to do. Yeah, it should be something the format like this. And what we are doing is like we have the expansion of the to e-clients. So for some of the big enterprise, we can also offer the on-premise solution for them. So we actually need some of the help from the whole industry, like the video understanding technologies and other tools, or the on-premise solutions. So yeah, if you have that, please feel free to contact with me. Thank you a lot.
All right, let's have a big hand for Tony. All right, any questions, Phil?
Thank you.
You're emphasizing suitable video. A lot of times the information I want is in the audio track. Are you analyzing the audio as well?
we actually have the model to analyze the audio as well. So you can see we are not doing the general transcription or general visual understanding. What we want to do is to do some of the comparisons between different footages. You can see some of the things maybe that blocked by the human beings and maybe have the noises, and we can detect that and compare those kind of different soundtracks or the vision differentiations. Yeah, so we have that kind of the agentic pipeline to do so, helping you to pick the suitable footages. The footage including everything you want, like audio, maybe somehow the emotional expression, and somehow the things. Yeah.
Great. Any more questions? All right, let's have a big hand for Tony. Thank you, Tony. That was great. All right, we have Stephanie from BUTV. Let's have a big hand for Stephanie.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stephanie Hack. I'm a partner and head of strategy at BUTV. So my personal background is in finance. So I'm always looking for real problems, real solutions, and market opportunities. So when our founder was here with us, François-Louis Mertens came to me with all his 20 plus years of production, TV production experience and expertise, brought to me his vision of the industry. I was sold and I totally knew that was it. So what we see nowadays in any industries, everyone became a content creators. Whatever like industry you're in, people are working harder than ever to create content. The issue is that they're streaming in and streaming the content on so many different platforms. The audience is like multiplying different platform, and they have no control on there is no monetization, it's inexistent, or they have zero control on the monetization. So this is why we created BUTV. So the goal was to have, I'm following my PowerPoint here. So the goal was to create one centralized platform where content creators had a place to have totally access to a professional TV studio. So that comes for free for any content creators. They have access to just web-based studio. They also have, in a few clicks, they can create their own TV channel, and they have total control on the monetization. And I'm sorry. So here, as I said, key features are our studio, the multi-stream. So in one centralized platform, they can multi-stream on all the social media platform. They have entire control on the monetization. And we have a lot of different professional studio tools. Can either build the studio in a private mode, or they can build it in a public mode to have reach out to many audience. So this is us. Any questions?
Any questions for anybody for BUTV? Phil. Any questions from anybody?
I apologize. I just received a PowerPoint. So.
Oh, no, you did great. Well, you can come and check out BUTV and ask questions directly to them. They're right back there.
Yes, you are just there.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Great job. Great job.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be taxing Phil later for not asking a question. All right. We're bringing up Cash Wave now from CMAP. Okay.
I wanted to begin by sharing a thought, which is that time and again in our lives, we are reminded that even for the well-known bottlenecks, okay, when they hit a critical threshold, everything breaks down really bad. Yeah, so do you know where this is going? But as we are here kind of in this media-based conference, we observe that this industry is also about to head to its own such moment. And this should not come as a surprise to anybody. It is, the content creation part is going fabulous. The content delivery part is the one that is coming in question. Okay. We know that the content is growing at an explosive rate. Okay. So what is going on in the growth of content? Not just volume, but also the quality, the resolution, and the interactivity of the content is exceeding faster than the pipes can handle. And you see that to deliver such a content at a good experience is becoming more and more challenging. And the industry is almost about a point where the suffering is going to become intolerable. I wanted to share one more kind of data point with you guys. That did you know that in the next 5 years, we expect the global internet traffic to triple? Just think about that, right? So the amount of bits that are going to be transacted is 3 times what we are experiencing today. And that growth is also not a very proportional growth. And what do I mean by that? Is that it's not going to be mostly the downlink traffic. The traffic is actually getting reshaped. It is getting more and more bidirectional. It is interactive. It is agentic. So we are already starting to see cracks in the system to support this growth of traffic. The subscribers that are there for the internet providers, they are offering a big churn number. They're switching providers like crazy. 1 in 3 dissatisfied, 20% churn rate that happens in the industry as we currently speak. The primary reason being quality of experience. Okay, that's what they're hinging on. Besides that, the cost of content delivery is also going through the roof. If you project it out, you can see what the industry is going to spend $1.5 trillion in a year to deliver the kind of content that comes in. So this is very untenable. And even after they do this, the pipe will not deliver the kind of experience that is required. So, where is the problem? One of the insights I want to offer folks over here is that the last leg of the pipe is fairly well built in most places. That's not where kind of the issue lies. The issue is in the backhaul that connects to the content cloud. And how, if you look at whether it's a first world country or a developing country, the backhaul that goes to make that backhaul upgraded, it's the amount of money that is required, the cost that is required is phenomenal if it is doable at all. So that's the kind of thing that industry watches. And in that theme, for several years, there has been a talk about making the network edge matter, making that network edge intelligent so that it can start playing a role to address this. But to date, that has never been built. What is the CDNs of today? They are still very much centralized and they are metro level CDNs. So they do not really do the justice to solve the problem. What is really needed is a deep edge within the ISP network, close to the user, close to the end user, becoming intelligent. And that, guys, is exactly what Cashwave does. Okay? What we are is we are a distributed compute company. Okay, so we do edge computing, and the way we do it is that we have low power distributed node that we push into the ISP network free of cost for them. And once those nodes are there, we use AI to bind those nodes together and present it as a virtual hyper-local CDN at the edge. And what do I mean by that? How does that kind of translate in practice? Once we do this, the content is served at the closest point from where the user is. So the latency drops, the tax on the backhaul reduces phenomenally, and all the interactiveness and everything improves because we are not just delivering video, we are offering a computation platform. So things can be computed right at the edge, including things like AI inference. So think of you're doing ChatGPT and all. If they work with us, they're actually able to do a big part of interaction right at the edge and not take it to the cloud. Keep it secure, keep it private, keep it safe. How is this translating to some real numbers? We are seeing phenomenal results. We are able to save more than 50% on cost of content delivery already. We are able to save the capacity for the ISP at over 60% because we reuse the content at the very far edge. And we are able to improve the quality of experience for the user as well. At the end of the day, what this translates to is we can deliver 8K, 16K videos at scale to the users at the moment. So that's where we stand. And the way we have built this company is it's myself, Seema Abkadri. That is Suresh Srinivasan. We are the co-founders of Cashwave. We have been in this industry for decades. I won't say how old we are, but we have been for multiple decades over here, and we have watched this problem grow in front of our eyes. We have been running Cashwave for 1 year now, and we already have deployments with ISPs starting to happen. So here we came to the NAP show for the first time to open it to the ecosystem. We are actually doing a launch over here where we are inviting the content providers to work with us and get a free CDN service for 6 months and experience the performance gain, experience the cost benefits. We are working with network providers. So if there are any network providers over here, come and work with us and we will light up your network for free and make your edge more intelligent. If you are an investor out here, well, we'd love to talk to you about how to build the next generation of internet edge fabric together. And if you just are a thought leader, then please come and chat with us and we'll have a great discussion.
Let's have a big hand for Cashwave. Come on, everybody. Great presentation. And you can, of course, check them out at the back of the house. All right, let's bring up Post Up. Jeremy, let's have a big hand for Post Up. Come on, you guys can make them feel welcome.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Bircher. I'm the CEO and founder of Post Up. Post Up, we are reimagining post-production. Talking about that little company called Facebook. I was there for a number of years, eventually became Mark Zuckerberg's personal editor. It was there that edit timelines got really crunchy. Started to try and figure out how do we automate this so that we can get back to the creative part of filmmaking instead of solving technical problems. What we started to do is accelerate things really, really fast. In fact, we think we're faster than just about anything you've seen for processing footage. Our record recently, we did 21 and a half hours of raw footage. We processed that in 12 minutes and 40 seconds. It was audio syncing, deriving the metadata, applying a LUT, and then making avid bins. But how did this all start? You want to make a movie. You got a great story. You got your beautiful script and the most amazing DP in the world. Then here comes post-production. Gets a little wild. Conform isn't working. Time code's drifting. Proxies are mismatched. Face it, post-production can kind of be a nightmare. Fragmented. Every one of those handoffs is a potential delay. That delay makes it more expensive. That complexity means that you're actually costing you and your story creativity. What if instead of all these multiple vendors, you had one system that could do this? What if instead of waiting for the footage for 12 to 24 hours, it was there available in minutes? What if all that processing wasn't days later? In fact, you could start it while you're still on set. It's Post Up. We're a fully automated post-production platform. Because we're fully automated, we're much less expensive, AI-driven, 350 times faster, with no sacrifice in quality. We're totally secure, the same industry standard security protocols that you're used to for compliance. We liken this to almost say, hey, you're a carpenter and you've only ever used a screwdriver. That would really suck. Post Up, we're a power drill. You're still in control, you're still the artist, but you have this supercharged tool at your disposal. It's been proven on a couple of small productions for companies you've never heard of. HBO, Facebook, Amazon MGM, Paramount. This is proven on real studio projects. In fact, one executive producer from Amazon MGM Studios said Post Up revolutionized the process from day one. Dailies and edit-ready proxies were delivered in record time, and our post-production workflow became a seamless experience. Can't imagine going back to the old way. Christina Perez, executive producer at Amazon MGM Studios. The old way, by the way, for them, was waiting around 24 hours. This is a real one-day production with them. About a terabyte worth of clips, 147 clips to be exact. Generally 24 hours. We were doing that in 45 minutes, which is 32 times faster just for the processing. Don't take my word for it. We're right behind you. We're processing dailies faster than we can make a cappuccino. We do have a real cappuccino machine. It's seriously back there. Come and meet us. We'd love to show you the demo. Any questions, though?
Just when you thought there was no love left in the room, Phil has a question, ladies and gentlemen.
Of course. Yeah, you probably already solved this, but what about the security of this system? Where is it running? And like you've got large studio clients there. Are you selling the software or are you doing things in the cloud and signing a contract?
Great question. Thank you for asking that. We can do it on-prem. We can do it in the cloud. We can do it on one of our stacks. We have 2 processing nodes in Portland, Oregon, and down in Burbank. To that effect, the studio compliance, we've been through those gauntlets a couple times and always passed. So if you have a production that needs that, we're all up to snuff on all those standards.
Any more questions? All right, let's have a big hand for post-up. Great job. Okay, it is hard to come up here, ladies and gentlemen, especially with Phil asking all those questions. All right, well, now we're going to bring up Flamenco, and we have Ryan presenting. Let's have a big hand for Ryan. Ryan has spent a lot of time just walking across the startup theater area to get to you. Boy, are his arms tired. All right.
Thanks, everyone. I'm Ryan McCaig, founder and CEO of Flamenco. I've been working in the industry about 15 years across a lot of different areas, starting from production, post-production, on the studio side, the vendor side, before getting into technology. And really what I want to talk to you a little bit about today, before we get into what Flamenco does, is just a couple observations about the media industry today. For a number of years now, we've been talking about Flamenco, and even prior to that, an article that was posted in the magazine for NAB yesterday, that everybody is a media company now. And what I mean by this is you've got traditional studios producing content, distributing content, your TV shows, your movies, etc. You've got small content creators like YouTubers, but then you've got, what about your traditional retail company that's got imagery, maybe product videos that they're posting to their retail site. Healthcare's got imagery of X-rays and such, and you've got education. All these industries have video, audio, imagery that they ultimately are trying to analyze and get out into the world somewhere, whether they be internal or external. So if media moves through your organization, you are a media business now, or you have some part of your business that is media centric. What else is changing fast? So I personally am super excited. I've been saying, I never thought there would be another internet in my lifetime. And so I was kind of bummed out by that, right? There's not going to be another internet-like technology shift that we can all get excited about. I would argue this shift with AI is the most exciting technological shift that's maybe ever occurred, certainly that I've ever experienced. And so what is so exciting about that is that productivity is changing fast, right? What do LLMs really do for us? They remove friction from all the work we're attempting to do, and we can interact with data and systems with natural language. I think it was Jensen Huang of NVIDIA who said, the new development language is English. So this formerly very inaccessible or difficult to learn technology of writing code, developing applications is now accessible via natural language. And we're doing this internally at Flamenco. It's very exciting. If you haven't gotten your hands on these tools, I really encourage you to do so. It's just an exciting time to be in technology. And so developers in particular, I think is a good analogy here of developers had the IDE, the integrated development environment, for years now, and now that's being supercharged by LLMs. And what is an IDE? It is a place for developers to look at their code, write their code, and then ultimately view that code, view the output of the code. So now with LLMs, they're doing this even faster. But what about our industry? What about media? Where is the integrated development environment for media? Where do we go? And how is our work being supercharged by these LLMs? Today, we still have a fragmented ecosystem, right? Your assets are stored in one place. The tools are all over the place. You see them at the show, but there's no one place where they are brought together. So the result of that, of course, is slow, manual, and inefficient workflows. So Flamenco, what we're really doing is we are the media development environment. We're the one place where you can come and you can upload or connect to your storage and bring in your assets where they're at. We run AI algorithms against your content to develop a contextual understanding of that content, which means now you can chat with your media, right? I can now chat with media just like you would in a tool like a ChatGPT or a Claude or a Cursor. And with that understanding, now we can interact with the media, right? We can do things like, can you just transcode this clip to this different format? Is this clip ready for distribution in the Middle East? Is this clip ready for distribution on Prime Video or Netflix? Those sorts of things we can now just access via natural language. And in natural language, we can understand back, yes or no, it's ready to go. And then I can say, well, it's not ready for distribution. Can you help me make it ready? And the answer is yes. So we're applying the same LLM agentic capabilities that we all experience in our knowledge work now to media in this one central environment. So we're not just managing media anymore. We're making media workflows more like software, and that's really supercharging productivity in the media space. We're excited to show you what we're doing and where we're headed. If you've got any questions, I can answer none, but we're right behind you. And please come check us out. Thanks a lot.
Let's hear it for Ryan. That was a great job. Phil? Oh, no questions. All right. I'll come back and talk to Ryan, and I'm going to actually bring up SpliceGist now with Nikki. Let's have a big hand for Nikki, everybody.
Yes, my name is Nikki Lubold, and I am here to talk about a wonderful little company called SpliceGist. How many of you have lost sleep over finishing? If you have, then this is the right talk for you. We have all, in the finishing world, experienced a number of different challenges, ghosts in the finishing pipeline, that have led to any number of challenges. Files getting renamed, time codes getting zeroed out, reels missing, changes in frame rates. All of these can lead to some very manual and time consuming efforts. Some of the numbers behind that can take anywhere from 8 to 40 hours per conform per project. There are thousands of shots to deal with. You can have multiple vendors. You can imagine this leads to a lot of money, a lot of resources, and a lot of time. For decades, this has been accepted as, there's just some things. There's just some technical tasks that you got to solve by hand, and they take time. But SpliceGist has figured out a way to build an autonomous system that handles a lot of the technical tasks of conform. They're doing this by closing that intelligence gap. So a lot of those manual tasks, a lot of that effort, there's great tools out there. There's already automation out there, but there's still this leap that has to happen to solve some of those challenges that require adaptation. They require some decision making. They require some visual input from the human. And so to close that intelligence gap, we're building a system, or have built a system, that has awareness, learning, and adaptation within it. It acts like the conform artist themselves. It does what the conform artist would do. It has 4 modules in one platform. The conform module, it also can address dailies, VFX, and deliverables. And it does this through 3 pillars. So there's a structured onboarding process. There is a knowledge base that's built on 20 plus years of experience. The founder of SpliceGist has lived that pain. He has been haunted by those ghosts. And it also has a human escalation component to it. So it acts like the conform artist, but it also brings the human into the loop. So it will escalate, solve problems that it can solve based on its own learning, but there might be problems where it's only moderately confident that it has solved it correctly, and there might be problems it can't solve at all, or it knows that it shouldn't solve those problems. There are some creative tasks within conform. This is about the technical tasks, so those creative tasks are still left to the human. This is real working software. The example you see on the screen right here was processing a film that had 1900 clips in it. And it analyzed it, and 95% of it was conform ready, but there was still some gaps, some issues, and it went and solved those using real film, real data. So the ghost story should end here. If you have any questions, you can come see it live. We're the booth just down there on the last row here at the very end. Look for the purple ghost and you will be able to find us.
Any questions? No?
Bill, I'll answer the question you had for post-up. It is on-prem. It is TPN compliant. So yes, we are addressing those aspects or needs.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's an example of community right there. Let's hear it for Nikki. That's like Macy's telling people to shop at Gimbals. I love you. All right. Let's bring up Summit Technology with Dr. Manjumdar. Excellent. STL. Let's have a big hand. Our last presenter and our best presenter. No, just kidding. I mean, you could be. I don't really know. But let's have a big hand again. Give her some energy, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm Dr. Aditi Majumdar, founder and CEO of Summit Technology Laboratory. We have a revenue generating software that takes any surface around you, like these walls, and uses projectors to create displays seamlessly, creating immersive environments with no headsets. Use cases involve media, location-based entertainment, and defense. Today, there is no scalable way to build wraparound displays on any shape, the cornerstone of such environments. LED panels are usually used, which make it cost prohibitive. For example, Sphere, though inspiring, took $2.3 billion to build and takes millions to sustain. Projector pixels are around 300 times less expensive than panels and can provide more affordable options. Our spatial AI software, Artemis, uses multiple projectors to create wraparound displays on any shape in just minutes. Protected by 8 patents, developed using $6 million in SBIR grants. We have won many awards, including the Startup Challenge here in NAB. Artemis reduces deployment time from hours or days to minutes, reduces cost of ownership by more than 95%, scales to any number of projectors on any shape, static or even dynamic, like moving tent walls, and has high fidelity displays. Discovery Science Museum used 3 projectors and Artemis to create an IMAX size and quality display, but at 20% of the cost of an IMAX projector. It is deployed by a high school volunteer in just a couple of minutes. Our customers in defense cannot carry heavy and fragile panels in remote locations. They have used Artemis-driven projectors to create displays on framed fabric or inflatable structures, creating rapid setup, command and control, mission rehearsal systems, and visualization systems. Immersive environments have a market of $150 billion, projected to go to $550 billion by 2032. We have carved out a TAM of $12 billion. 60% is in US, giving a SAM of $7.5 billion, and we plan to capture around $75 million in next 5 years. We are a B2B business selling through our channel partners, mainly projector manufacturers and integrators. Our revenue model is per projector, $10,000 5-year subscription and a one-time $1,000 implementation fee. This leads to 10 to 50K revenue per year based on the size of the system. Selling our beta and alpha versions, we have got $300K in revenue. Now we have signed 2 big contracts, $1.6 million, one with potential acquirer Panasonic and another with a domestic AV company. Our ACV pipeline has all the top projector manufacturers, leading AV integrators like AVI Special, and even PRG, who are event and staging companies known for their Super Bowl halftime shows. Considering only the commercial market and 2% market penetration, we can get to $75 million in year 5 by selling 15,000 licenses. We are also addressing defense sector, which will become an upside. We are the best team to deliver this technology. I am a UC Irvine professor turned entrepreneur, considered a pioneer in this domain with foundational books and 30 years of experience. I have worked with Disney Imagineering, Cubic Defense, and several other startups. My COO, CFO has exited 2 companies and advised a dozen. Our VP of sales have deep experience in building S&M teams. Our defense advisor is a retired Air Force Major General. Dr. Gopi advises us, who is a professor at UCI. He advises us on innovations and patents. Our full-time team of 6 engineers, most with advanced degrees, have 50 plus years of combined domain experience. Our advisors have deep experience in startup and in M&A. We plan to exit in 3 to 5 years through strategic acquisition. We are raising a $750K pre-seed bridge round at 10 million valuation cap with lead as golden seeds. We have already raised 590K and we are now increasing the cap to 1.25 million to accommodate other investors. We plan to raise our seed round in Q1 of 2027. 50% of the proceeds will go to GTM, 40% in R&D, and rest in G&A. We are a disruptive tech with large multi-billion-dollar market, revenue-generating product, and a pioneering team. We are at an inflection point of growth with tremendous revenue potential this year, anticipating a price seed round at 1.5 to 2x valuation in 12 months. So this makes us an excellent investment opportunity, and I would like to invite you guys to join me in this journey. Thank you.
Great job. Any questions? Oh, we do. Phil has a question. Yay. Yay.
Yeah, we actually had a long conversation on Sunday, and it's really impressive and amazing technology. I thought of a question afterwards, which is because you're able to project onto variable shapes, are you doing anything in terms of metadata for tracking sound object files so the object can track the walls or the ceiling as the shape changes?
Wow.
I mean, the answer could be no. It's okay.
No. That's, I'm a professor turned entrepreneur, and I like to sometimes put on my professor hat, but this is such an interesting question. We are, at least right now, we have not thought about audio at all, but, the vision is big. So will have our R&D team always because to keep us ahead of the curve, because we are not going to stop here. We really want to do the holodeck in 7 years. You probably were in the panel. So not impossible. I have to talk to you more about it and then discuss. And thank you for the inspiration.
Great question. Great answer. Thanks, everybody. Let's give our attention to our good friend from Edit on the Spot, Martin, bringing it home. Great attitude, Martin. You have our attention.
Hello, everybody. It's good. I have to scan the room like this to speak to everybody. And I heard that someone before asked, so who's an investor? No investor, so that's a practice run, is it? I'm joking. All right. So live events create millions of hours of footage, and most of it never see the light of day. It is delivered days, weeks, or months later. Typical event, a one-day conference, a two-day conference, 5 rooms, 100 hours of video. It takes, editors and days to edit. And the workflow hasn't changed for a long time. Before live streaming, before social media. And as a veteran of 20 years experience as a technical director and broadcast engineer, I set with my co-founders to build a solution. So we capture live stream and our AI analyzes in real time the stream from each stage in a conference and creates full sessions, social media clips, vertical shorts. It's a real-time multi-location that is vouching to eliminate traditional post-production. So I'm sure you all get it here at NAB. The time and cost saving and the incredible value that you can multiply your content in real time and deliver in real time, or at least the same day. We checked last week. We did an event at SaaStock in Austin, and a speaker speaks on stage for 30 minutes. 4.5 minutes later, the content top entailed with branding is available to them, and they can clip from it and then post on social media. Now, one event's become hundreds of pieces of content instantly. So we have currently 2 revenue-making products, 2 verticals. One is called Event Cut for conferences and corporate events, such as NAB. is there's 10 million annual conferences in the world, and it's a 10 billion ARR opportunity. We have another product, which is GradCut. This one is designed for graduation ceremonies. So basically, we capture the live stream and match it with the student lists, and then deliver social media clips for each student crossing the stage. And then we either sell to the students directly and with a revenue share model with the university, or they buy in bulk. So this is another 2 billion ARR opportunity built on the same real-time video infrastructure. So our business model is to basically boost our sales up to 55 mil in 5 years, dealing with 300 universities, 5,000 day events, and 200 partners. The typical value of our contracts for GradCut is 100 to 150K, smaller ones, obviously. And then for EventCut, it's about $1 to $5 a day, $1 to $5,000 a day per event. And then we have resellers and partners as well. So our wedge is to go after the large events, the NABs of this world, the NVIDIA GTCs, Adobe Summit, AWS Summit, et cetera, and to build reoccurring sales. So right now we are at 100K ARR, 10 grand a month in revenue. And our clients, so having launched EventCut in mid-October with South by Southwest Sydney, now we did SaaS Talk last week. We're doing Startup Grind, TechCon, and a number of large conferences coming up. Conferences with 5, 10, 20 stages, and they all, need this solution to deliver rapidly. Convention centers, and as we were established in Australia, most of our clients were in Australia, and now we are a C Corp Delaware company, so we're in the US for good. So our go-to-market is, as I was saying earlier, just engaging audience engagement, circular through the number of events that we process. Our competitive landscape, some of it, a lot of them are here at NAB. The main difference is that we are an end-to-end solution for live events. We build for live events. Our career is in live events, so we know the workflows and we know how to embed into the workflows. And it is also a platform that is very low in for technical people. So marketing people can use it, and anyone in the business, as opposed to something like Grabio, for example, which is probably our closest competitor, but they're more of a professional tool for technicians. This one can be used very easily from marketing people or production companies. We have a patent pending on this process. So why we win, our moat is our data and IP moat. So we have over 200 terabyte of proprietary data set recordings of conferences that we've done over the year. It is a multi-room orchestration with agents across the board, and we deal in real time, which is fairly new still in the space. We're founders with decades of industry experience. Our CEO is a 3-time founder with 2 successful exits. I have 20 years experience in, as I said before, in broadcast engineering. We have a CTO who's an established software developer, and a team of developers as well. So we're raising 2 mil to execute our go-to-market strategy, builds our revenue to 3 mil. So hire a sales team support, as well as finalizing the development or continuing the development of our platform. We're looking at breaking even within 15 months and then bring 3 mil revenue in 18. Real-time automatic video editing for live events, multiplying content across media instantly. Thank you very much.
Good job, Martin. Great job. Thank you for having such a good attitude about it. Anybody? Oh, Phil has a question. Ladies and gentlemen, I am shocked, I tell you, shocked that Phil has a question. Oh, I can answer. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm just going to ask in terms of the GradCut, but it applies to the other businesses as well. with GradCut, where you're essentially creating personalized videos for each student that you can then market, are you controlling the camera? Are you doing a control room, or are you simply taking the feed from the university?
Simply taking the feed from the university. So we're working with existing vendors. So this is a software solution only. We're working with existing vendors. So those guys, they're using a great tool right now. But basically they could stream to our platform and then deliver the videos. We're doing it a lot for pitching competition. So hence, this one. So like, for example, Startup Grind next week, it's 10 sessions. Each session has of 1 hour. Each session is an interview and then 15 by 1 minute pitches. So basically we're going to be delivering 150 pitches, in a day, over in 10 hours and directly to the speakers. So everyone can receive their clips in time, but just all automated from the get-go.